I hope you guys are enjoying your Sunday. It got hot. I got my air conditioner on. Had to quit. Doing a personal project for Barbara. But we have Ben's p62. I said I was going to build an 046 steel next, but these are really fast to build, and because I can get a start on it this afternoon, it ain't gonna just bam, just like that. They're done. They need a lot of work, but they're easy to work with. This is what I like. These are reed saws. This is a big Pioneer. This ain't like them little ones I've been building. This is a big one, and it's beautiful. Yeah, that means something. That's they weren't joking. It's got boost ports. It could be interesting to go along in this and see exactly what it is. I'm gonna just ramble and start working on this with you. The one thing that's neat about these, because they were a powerhouse torque monster of a saw. I ran this saw, Ben. This is pretty good right is, but you want it better because you're a wild man. Okay, so you're gonna get it. They have a manual oiler to give extra oil, and they got it right here. Isn't that was a make sense thing for me to have that.
That's the best position I've
that seen. Right there is way better than doing it down on the thumb. It's the only one I've seen like this. I've had this saw a long time, just like a few of them, but we're gonna build it, and we're gonna do it right here. We have good success with these Pioneers. How far you want me to go, Ben?
He's gonna say all the way.
Yeah, I know what he's gonna say.
That's what everybody says. They don't want that.
Do what you can do. I'm gonna tell you what I'm gonna do for you. I'll get you all the frickin'
safe power
that it's got without killing the saw off. We want them to run nice, be nice to start. We definitely gonna do the reed tricks. I'm gonna tell you that right now. Boy, I tell you what, these old saws like this, I do not want to lose bolts.
Yeah.
Jeez, I ended up taking one out of one of mine here and there. Then you can get them. They're SAE. It's not a big deal. It's not the end of the world, you know. But I just don't like losing them. And I think everything I got on my bench is metric. I'm gonna have to find the SA. Wait a minute. I think I got the one I need right here. All I gotta do is find it. So first thing I'm gonna do is we're gonna take the handle off. Yeah, I do like working on these Pioneers. This is actually, I think, no, it's the only one I've ever had in here like this one. These are kind of rare. Ben's got one heck of a saw here. These ain't little. These are the 90cc saw class. They're just amazing, these Pioneers are. They run good before you start working on them, but it depends on what you're looking for, but you get substantial gains out of them. They're not messing around. You want to hold that for me there, Colin? I got Colin my holder in the shop today.
The holder. Almost as good as a vise, but not quite.
Well, I got to get me a socket, so let me get these loose with a socket. Look at this. Everything's properly routed. Everything. I can clean this up. This way Ben sent it to me. Good job, Ben. Nice saw. Beautiful saw. The only thing I never understood about the Pioneers, quite honestly, most of the bolts are screwdrivers. That's what they do. And sometimes you gotta play tricks to get them apart. You really do. You work at it. I love the mount systems that they did. They did 4 mounts. Right on the bottom, 4 of them. That's what we're taking apart now. It's going to be interesting to see what kind of timing numbers we get out of this bugger. You got it? Everybody's talking about, gee, I wish I had a special saw holder. I do. I got me a Cullen. A Cullen saw holder today, ain't you? Okay, need to turn it around. Just top screw here. I was gonna, and I probably oughta, I was gonna show you the views, but it's pretty self-explanatory. See, they got 2 rubber mounts on top and 4 on the bottom. When we get this handle off, I'll show you what the deal is. And it'll all make sense. If you've never worked on a Pioneer, don't be afraid of them. They're very nice to work on. They really are. Other than you do sometimes have trouble with these screws getting them out. The good news is they're nice hard screws. They really are. I'm not positive of this, but let me just see how, we'll see what the numbers are, which won't be in today's video. This is about getting it apart. We'll see what the numbers are. This may well end up being the most powerful Pioneer that I've built on the channel. It just may well. Yeah, they're just absolutely amazing saws to work with. Now these things have a govern card, which we just stripped that handle off. We had to do a little, you know, wasn't nothing much to miss doing that. Boy, I tell you what, don't that someone look like it's brand new? I mean, that's beautiful. So, apparently they were painted black right from the factory, which is kind of nice to know. By the time I get a hold of one of these, generally they're not black anymore. Torque was perfect on that, Ben. Good job. You overtake this reed block, you over tighten it rather, over torque it, you won't like yourself. You'll bust it. If you don't bust it, put it in, the vibration and temperature changes well. You get it just right, and you're good to go. Little tongue reed. We're gonna do something way cool with that. I don't know if I'll show you or not what I do with these. These are kind of been let's not call it a secret. I just do some different things. It's a
special recipe.
It's a trial by fire. Working on reeds is. I'll tell you that right now. I'm not taking that gasket off because that's sealed nice there. Everything looks good. Okay, what we're down to now is we don't need this ignition on anymore. So we're going to get rid of the ignition for just a second. We had some real interesting comments on the last couple videos. It gets me pretty excited. I'm glad to see that. I tell you what, when they bolt some of these together, they bolt them. This is what you deal with. You gotta have. Okay. Well, I'll tell you one thing. You want the screwdriver, and each screw that fits exact. You want exactly the right screwdriver. Don't try to take these apart with the wrong one. Okay, we did it. This is good. Working on these saws are an awful lot of fun. See, there's more and more of you guys tackling your own projects. I'm glad to see it.
A lot of channels popping up.
Yeah, there's a lot of new channels. What I get a kick out of, and it makes me feel good, is the fact that And the first one to give you the numbers accurate. Tell you what this is. Share. There's no tricks. There's no secrets. And these other channels, the small channels that are cropping up, the majority of them I know watch my videos because the methodology they use, they're picking it up from that, which that makes me feel good. Okay, we're right down the park's falling off. I ain't sure where it goes now. No, we had a little clip that holds the 2 oil lines for the oil pump. That come out. The spark plug off. I love the smell of 2-stroke. Okay, now what I gotta do is I gotta get my muffler off, and I have to locate everything to take cylinder off. Let's see what we need. Okay, with my coolant holder, we got the cylinder bolts loosened. Now, they don't have a lot of room to get these cylinders off. So, but we'll get it. We'll get it. I can do this without losing them bolts, eh? I hope I got time to. I tell you what I'd like. I'd like to build a proper muffler, proper pipe, like what I did for Buck and Billy's Pioneers for this. He's got a perfect muffler. It's got, they had the screen in it, everything. There's a big old screen that was in them. So if we got time to do that, we'll ship it to him like that and send him back his old muffler, because he might want to put this saw back to pure one day. We don't know. Maybe he don't want a muffler. I bet he'll tell me if he does or not. I'd like to think. Yeah, he wants a muffler. We will be building some. Probably not this week. I want to at least modify the muffler on that Blue Thunder. And I gotta build a couple pipe mufflers, 3, 4. I think I got like 5 to do. When I set up to build them, I'll just build them all at once. And I'll take you along the journey on some of them. Like the 372s, there's a few of you guys was asking about them ones. Great saw. When you build a proper pipe for a chainsaw, you know when you got it right. If you think, well, gee, I wonder, gee, did that make a difference? You didn't get it. When you got it, you'll know. You pull that trigger and whack it, and it jumps and gets right up there on the pipe and starts strolling, and you could feel the difference, then you did the proper exhaust. I've seen in emails some of you guys showing me different pictures of the exhaust that your guys are building. Keep building. Try new things. If you want, you can build what I'm building. We worked some of them out, and I've got more that I haven't worked out than I have actually. Now you see these cylinders are kind of right behind that handle there. It's a little bit of a trick. Boy, I wish I could. I'd love to build a bigger reed for the saw. Old gauge. I'm getting sidetracked again. I'm just looking at how big that hole is. I'd like to fill that. I'd like to get something in there that's worth talking about personally. I really would. Okay. Now, particularly with this one, I am putting the piston at top or bottom dead center all the way down. And then what I got to do is just a little gentle tweak here somewhere. This one's bent. This one's going to be just a bit of a bugger. I'm gonna have to find my tappet. There we go. Got it broke loose on one side. I try so hard to be very careful with these. I don't like breaking fins. I don't like anything going wrong. See, they just kind of, as it's coming up, it's got to roll out. It has to. They don't have a choice. Okay, we did it. Now we got to get the screws out. Boy, I tell you what. They're a big dang old piston in these, okay? Well, that's a short barreled cuss. I'm gonna show you. That's a short barrel thing. Boy, that's big. Let's see that cylinder. It does not have boost ports. It does not. Okay, I'm gonna set you down and we're gonna take some measurements. That's what we're gonna. Interesting. They rated these SAE 57 millimeter for going on a metric scale. Okay. Let's see what it is. Two and a quarter inch. That's a pretty darn big piston. That really is. Impressive. Well, I tell you what, you got a nice cylinder here. This, I'm going to show you here in a minute. This might be as nice as any of them I've ever seen. It really might be. You know what? I was going to depend on the boost ports. But there was something I was going to do with a P51 or a P41. I was going to try one. But we're going to do it to this one instead. And I'll share that once I get it figured out exactly. I'm going to move them transfers just a bit. I am. I'm gonna elongate them. I want to get a little more air. If I can get this light where it's shining down on that cylinder, I'm gonna show you the shape of these. See, them transfers are kind of square looking. I think all I want to do is widen them maybe a bit, because I think right here is the transfers, the lower transfers. I think by the time I get done with them, I'm going to get you some more air and fuel in there that we didn't know we could do. I don't generally have to go a long ways with these Pioneers to make them orangutans. And this one be a big one. We have to keep in mind a bigger saw is going to have a lower RPM limit. So I have to think, I'm going to get more RPMs out of the saw than what the factory intended, but I don't want to override the bearings or the weight of the piston. The weight of the piston matters in this case. I was kind of hoping that I could take a common piston and do something a little crazy and put a different style piston in this. But I think we better work with what we got right here, honestly. That's what I think. I'm seeing good things here. The piston ain't got a mark on it. Needs a little cleaning, just like all saws. You take them apart. It has a proper combustion chamber. It's not like a bottle of an egg. It flows up and comes around. That's something I like. But it doesn't look like the transfers the lower transfers, which is the bottom, are any bigger than a P51. Well, when you figure out how much bigger the saw is than a P51, it's at least 10, 12 cc's bigger. It has to have more area. That's why we're concentrating on these reeds. The reed is definitely going to need a little extra work. So, my primary goal is I'll take the rings off this cylinder, which ain't going to be today. I will time this. We'll put a degree wheel on this. I'll show you. You'll see it all. And see what the factory numbers are. And then I'll tell you what I'm going to change. And why. Now, you guys have been asking, a few of you, how do I figure out what my numbers are? Or what's a great set of numbers for 372 Husqvarna? Okay. First thing, here's my go-to numbers on the Husqvarna 372. Really like C98, exhaust opening, 155 to 157 degrees, total opening of the intake. Total, that's what it first opens and it comes closed. 157 degrees. I see a bunch of people are trying to figure out, well, how about if I just have it open at 57 degrees? Or I don't care what it opens. I want to know how long it's open. How many degrees am I open? That's what's important. That's really like the way I like to do it for me. And get used to that, and you'll be okay. Now, another trend is I'm seeing, and I don't like seeing this. Some of you guys are taking way too much off the bottom of your piston skirt. You're lowering the intake floor to get your timing, okay? Now, a lot of these are too straight in. When you lower that floor, it has a tendency to already want to start down in the saw, okay? It really does. So, with that being said, if you take it off your skirt, the chainsaws wear on the intake skirt. The rotation pushes it over, shoves that skirt against the intake side of the cylinder, and it rides right there. It doesn't even ride on the exhaust side as it rotates when it's first coming up. It depends on the length of your rod. That's another thing is. We got so much that makes a saw what a saw is. We do. Okay, so 155 to 157 on your intake total opening. I like to see my exhaust at 98 on them 372 Huskies, and I like to see 25 degrees separation from the time the exhaust opens to the time the transfers open. Another degree or two more is even more beneficial. If you look at the newer saws, some of them are 30 degrees difference between when the exhaust opens to when the transfers open. When you raise your transfers, your cylinders like this, and you raise them up, I'm going to warn you, you're going to reach one point there, you start making it gag. Yeah, you're going to start mixing exhaust gases with your intake air fuel mixture, and it just goes downhill from there. It has to have time for the pressure to come out, and then when the pressure drops most of the way, it doesn't have to be all the way, but most of the way, that intake charge, them transfers open, boof, and it blooms, and it forces the rest of the exhaust gases out. Piston hits bottom dead center. There's a natural bounce back with air because it came out with quick pressure. When the piston's at the top dead center, part of that air intake and fuel, the air fuel mixture, comes back in the saw, and it goes up quick and closes. And then you got a good fire. But if you have your transfer timing too close to your exhaust opening, it doesn't get it all the way out. Part of the exhaust comes back in, and then you're dealing with a whole nother bear that you don't want to deal with. And then once you've done that, you might as well chuck the cylinder as far as I'm concerned. The reason I share things like this, I want all of you out there that are real serious builders that are young. I'm 60. I mean, how long am I really going? I've already done my building. I want you to get real good, because sooner or later, you guys are going to be building saws, and you're going to be where I'm running saws. If I've done my job as an educator right, you guys are going to build saws that are actually faster than mine, because I'll only go so far with work saws. Okay, when I see that happening, I did a good job. Any educator, there's teachers out there, if you can get students smarter and sharper than you, you did your freaking job, didn't you? That's what I'm trying to say. I don't want to be the king crap on the top of the turd pile. I want you guys to be able to do it, not me. I already done mine. I know what I can do to saws. I was building some saws back 15 years ago. They were so stinking hot that you had trouble cutting trees with them. They would overheat, hard to start. Some of them wouldn't idle, but when you laid on that chair, oh, good God, was they fun. But they were a pain in the butt to try to make a living with. That's why I do it the way I do. You start crowding numbers too far in any direction, all of a sudden you start having failures. Okay? Yeah, you can crowd them more than I'm doing, yeah, in some cases. I seen one guy build a saw with an exhaust opening 92 degrees, thought oh God, it screamed. It sounded so freaking angry, it was flipping nuts. Put it in wood, fall right on its face. Didn't have any torque. Because he didn't raise his compression far enough. The higher your exhaust roof, the less travel you have through the cylinder for the piston to gain compression. So if you want to try 94 or 92 or something like that, you can do it. You can do it. You better have a pop-up piston about that big, because you're not going to do it. Once that ring clears that exhaust roof, you have just that given distance on the upward stroke to make compression. That's what the whole trick is. If you figure out how you make that compression and you get it right back up to at least factory specs, whatever it is, you'll have an orangutan in 92. But I'm going to tell you right now, I generally stop at about 97. Certain saws, like the 046 steel and the 66 mag, I'll run them at 96. The bigger Husqvarnas, I'll run them at 96. If I want RPMs. If I'm content with the RPMs, now I'm not talking free RPMs. I'm talking RPMs in the cut. I do not care how if your saw runs 17,000, you're not impressing me. What is it running in the cut? I need to get another tack so that we can handheld, so we can see in the cut what our gains are from factory, not ported to same saw ported, to see where we need to know this, don't we? This is something I need to share with you guys. Okay, have a merry Sunday, happy Sunday, a good Sunday. It's barbecue Sunday today. I'm letting you know that.
Barbecue.
Cole wants to barbecue some burgers.
Burger, big burger, man burgers.
I'm tired. I'm thinking he's barbecuing burgers. Well, I sit right on my flat ass in my chair drinking. Yeah, I'll sit there drooling, drinking my water. This is what I use for water glasses. I do. I use pints and quarts. They're easy to replace. All of our glasses match. That's the way it works. We don't have you. Yeah, I mean they're all the same.
Gotta keep up with the neighbors.
Yeah, that's what. Now, if you looked at our plates, we got 3 of this kind and 2 of this other and 1 of this oddball with a chip in it, and we don't care. But my glasses have to match. And no, this is water. I know what some of you were thinking.
Yeah.
I drink a lot of water, but some days I don't get enough. I know I don't. This is the end of the video. I'm going to say a little something. As you know, we sent Tin Man some parts for 266, and that 266 I sent Buckin. Buckin told me that runs pretty good. Now, Buckin's got that 266 that he built. And Buckin let it out in his last video, which was yesterday. He ran them saws together. And I'm so piped. I know what's supposed to happen. What's supposed to happen is Tin Man's build is supposed to have a deciding edge on the one I built. Can't wait to find out.
1 second. Hey, so I wanted to see how many people are actually watching until the end. So this is the end of the video. So if you watch until the end, comment that you watched it till the end, and we'll give you a like on that. Okay? Well, just a little social experiment. Thanks, guys.
This channel wouldn't run without him. I'm gonna tell you that. Well, it'd be pretty crude. He's the guy behind the scenes that makes everything happen. When I have technical difficulties and I can't fix it with a hammer and screwdriver, we got the colon out.
Oh, he tries the hammer. It just doesn't work.
Oh, yeah.
You know how many keyboards we go through?
Yeah. Yeah, that's the way it is. Yeah, he's the man behind the scenes. And it wouldn't run without him. Take care, guys. Have a good Sunday.
Bye.
Bye.